You speak of that work moving forward, Gus, I suppose for yourself, mate. Where is the club heading, and what is your first focus?
It's a really good question, Stu. To see where the club is heading, I guess we have to look at most recent history. The reality is that we're in last position, and we have won 5 of our last 42 games, which is that's probably as bad as I've seen any football club get to it at any stage. So the results just haven't been there. There's obviously been some changes at the higher levels, not just around the board, but management and also coaches. And so that's where we are at the moment. We're struggling. We're in last position, and there has been a recruitment drive leading into next year, which I think gives us great hope for the immediate future. My mind is more on the longer term future in sustainable success. And to do that, I believe every football club has got to develop young talent. It's got to bring people into your program. It's 16, 17 years of age, and hope that they play with you their whole career. And if you look at all the successful clubs in the league at the moment, all of them have players that have been together for a long period of time. One of the biggest factors in winning in football, well, I think in any professional sport, is time spent playing together, not just at the NRL level, but at the junior levels too. And they come through with a relationship and a spirit and a combination that sustains them in the pressure of NRL football. It's not easy to play NRL football. It's really not. It's only why the best get there. I mean, anyone who plays NRL, it's a badge of honour to them, whether they play one game or they play 300 games. It's not an easy game to play, and it's not an easy game to be successful. So the way we prepare these kids for it, both mentally and physically and spiritually, is really important. And we have many talented people around this club, or that have been involved with this club in the past, who can assist with that. So the development of our future is important. My head is pretty much 2 or 3 years down the track all the time. It's up to the current day coaches and players to look after the current results. And I will assist with those programs as much as possible. If they need the support of that, I'll be there to do it. My mind is virtually 2 and 3 years down the track at all times. In 2024, which seems like a long way away, but 2 years is nothing in rugby league. We still only have 2 players signed for 2024. So performances over the next 2 years are going to be very important for those that are currently on contract. And we're working very hard behind the scenes now with setting up a junior academy program, a development program, a pathways program, that will sustain the Bulldogs into the future and then have kids come to us at a young age. And look, back in the 80s, that was one of the strengths of the Bulldogs that I remember. A lot of the great players that I played with here at Canterbury came to us at very young ages as teenagers, and we got to see their development through the grades, and they came through to be great Bulldogs, and many of them went on to do great things. And I think that any successful organisation does that. If you look at the Melbourne Storm and the Panthers and the Rabbitohs and the Roosters, who are the top 4 sides at the moment, a lot of their players came together from teenage years right through the club system and then to wear that jersey proudly in the NRL. And I believe that's the culture of your club. That's the culture is very important. Winning premierships is about chemistry and the players of the day, but the culture of your club is how you educate and develop players over a period of time and have them want to play for your club and never want to leave your club. And to have as many players in your top 17 or 18 that have debuted with the club and been a part of this for a long time. And then your senior players who have come through that system, if they last long enough, know that any kids coming into the system have come through the same programs, so they trust it and they all believe in each other. And that's very, very important. It's not easy to win at the NRL level. It's not easy to play at the NRL level, particularly with new rules and interpretations and the pressure on coaches and players. And I think people sort of forget that fact sometimes. It's not easy for these kids. It's not easy to make it. So we need to support them right from their teenage years and prepare them for it so that when they get here, they're ready to succeed. So that's my priority. My priority is setting up the frameworks for a development system to rival any other, for young fellas to see the Bulldogs as a platform towards getting and living out their dreams of being in the NRL, to give every kid in the local area an opportunity, and those from outside that aspire to play with the Bulldogs and be a part of this program. And as it happens, as players come through your system, and we promote the fact that they've been developed players and they come into your first grade side and they go on to be rep players, that's inspiration for other generations. It's inspiration for the future players. And then it starts to snowball. It begins with a trickle, and Before you know it, after a few years, you've got an avalanche. It takes time. I'm not saying that happens overnight, but a couple of years, 2 or 3 years is not a long time in rugby league.